All right, so I owe you guys an explanation. So if you've been following the channel for a very long time, you've probably noticed that I have been MIA when it comes to long form content for about a month now. I've been very inconsistent. Fewer uploads, less structure, and less long form content. And it's not by accident at all. The last month, February, has been a lot for me. And I haven't fallen off, it's just that I've had to navigate life because me and my family have been going through some major changes. So here's what happened. We had to move. We got the keys to our new house February 1st. However, renovation and construction started on our new house on February 2nd. They ripped out all the flooring, all the carpet, all the baseboards. They repainted, changed the countertop in the kitchen, changed all the cabinets in the kitchen and the laundry room. So for the entire month of February, I have been living at my parents' house, which shout out to my parents. I love them. Really appreciate them for letting us, me, Cassie, Adeline, and Sally, our turtle, live with them for 28 days. So for 28 days in February, I had all moving. If you ever moved before, moving sucks. I will never move again in my life. I'm gonna stay in this house until I die. I had all our stuff from our previous house in my current 3-car garage, the garage in the back of my house, which is a single car garage. I had stuff in my parents' garage, and then I had stuff inside my parents' house. So I had stuff scattered everywhere. I did have my gym up, but I had no structure. So I'm very grateful and happy that we renovated and we were able to do that. But if you're a husband and you're a dad, you know that when you go through changes like that, it's a lot. Your space changes, your routine changes, your training changes. My training has not been consistent at all for the past month. My nutrition changed because living at home with my mom and dad, my mom is a phenomenal cook and there's sweets and I was enjoying myself. And if you know me, you know I don't do well without structure. I thrive on routine. I thrive on my morning routine. I thrive on my fortifying my mind in the morning. I thrive on having my gym right there, everything's set up. I thrive on when I open the cabinet, knowing where it is, knowing where all my food's gonna be. I thrive on that. And for the past month, I have not had that. Haven't had my own kitchen, haven't had my own bed, haven't had my own gym. It's just, well, I have had my gym, but it hasn't been at my house. So I wasn't able to wake up in the morning and get on that. So it's just been a lot. And it's affected me so much that my workouts haven't been consistent. My nutrition hasn't been locked in. I'm actually currently up to 225 pounds. That's the most I've ever weighed in a very long time. And I feel it, not just physically, but mentally. It was definitely draining, and I am someone that needed to get back to that structure. That's why I have not been able to film over the last 28 days. Now, it hasn't all been negative. I recently completed a DEKA Mile, which was supposed to be a duo. I was supposed to have a partner, but last minute, literally when I was driving to the competition, he got called into work. So again, in my mind, I was banking on only having to do half the race. Since my training has been so inconsistent, I was like, okay, cool, I don't have to do the whole race by myself. However, once I got that text, I had to make a decision. Do I just bail out from the actual race, or do I go do the race and just see where I'm at? I chose to see where I was at. So I went to the race, did it. It was obviously not my best DEKA Mile time. However, it wasn't terrible for where I thought I'd be, considering I haven't been training at all. So I completed that, and it kind of got me itching to do another one, which was a positive. Now, it was a gut check though, because I realized I'm not in the peak shape, but that is obviously due to my lack of training, my lack of consistency, my terrible nutrition. Like, those are all things I have to face up to. But I did show up at the end of the day. So, plus, that was a win. We also got Cassie a new car, so that was super cool. She needs a bigger mom-mobile, considering we have my son who will be here now in about 8 weeks. So that was a plus. And I actually got a new job, or another job. I'm still teaching as a special education at the high school, but I got hired as an adjunct faculty for University of Massachusetts. So I'm very excited to start that. I still don't have my actual start date for that, but just another source of income for me and my family, my family is growing. So that's very exciting, and I'm excited to actually teach teachers that are going, or students that are going to become teachers. That is what I'll be teaching, the master's program for University of Massachusetts. So very excited about that. So it's been just transition on top of transition and changes, just a lot of changes. And again, like I said, I'm like most people, I don't do well with change. And it's a lot in this past month. So here's what I realized over this last month. I don't struggle because I'm lazy. I struggle when I lose structure. And I've read that in a lot of books, and I know that's very important when it comes to students and having a structure and all that stuff. And I know there's a lot of dads who are watching this video and they feel the exact same way. When your structure is off, you're off. When your routine disappears, discipline gets a lot harder. When your environment changes, consistency drops. Now that doesn't mean you're weak, but it does mean that you need structure. And that is something that I realized. And that is something that I realized over the next 8 weeks before my son gets here. I need to dial in my structure to a certain point where that when my son gets here, I'm hopefully able to maintain it to a certain extent. And also know that when he comes, the structure is going to be probably all jacked up for a couple weeks. But now going into that, my goal is to have a better mindset. Learning from this last 28 days of no structure. Now here's the part that matters. I have about 8 weeks until my son's here, and that changes everything. Now I don't want to be 225 pounds, weak-minded, undisciplined, inconsistent father when he's born. And I don't want to feel reactive. I want to go in feeling ready. So the plan is simple. Over the next 8 weeks, back to the routine, back to the nutrition, back to my structured training that I do very well with. Now I'm not doing extremes. There's no crash cuts. I'm not doing like a massive calorie deficit or anything like that. Hopefully just building back up my discipline. Because if you remember correctly, I was trying to lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks by the time my son got here. Well, now I'm up 5 pounds, so I'm at 225. And I ain't gonna lose 20 pounds in 8 weeks. I don't think that's a healthy amount of weight to lose in 8 weeks. However, if I lost about 1 pound to 2 pounds a week, that would put me roughly high at 16 pounds, low at 8 pounds. So anywhere in between that, that'd be a good start. Because summer is technically, I always do the beginning of summer, which is Memorial Day weekend, that's 12 weeks out. So if I look 12 weeks, my time frame's a little bit better. But the goal is to get back on a structure before my son's here in 8 weeks. So for the next 8 weeks, I'm gonna be documenting that whole process. Getting back to consistent hybrid training / running, lifting, all that stuff that I've been about. Clean and structured nutrition, which I will document that. Body weight back under control. So I'll be monitoring obviously my measurements, my weight, my body fat, all that stuff. Hopefully get my energy back up, and hopefully I can get my discipline locked in, because right now it is not locked in. But like I said, this isn't a shred challenge. It's a father preparing to meet his son, his first son. So if you're in a season where life feels chaotic and you've gained weight, you've lost your drive, you've lost your momentum if you've built it up, your discipline, or if you've just fallen off, you're not broken, you just need some structure. That's it. And I'm gonna start building mine back up right now. 9 weeks until Adonis gets here, and I'm not gonna be average when that little man comes out. So let's get back to work. If you are a father out there that are trying to get in better shape before summer, comment below. NYAD, which stands for Not Your Average Dad. And you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I'll catch you guys in the next one.